most, and our coaches, our administrators, and our fans to do what is right and to do what is fair, even if they really do want to play and continue playing. But I think as the administrators, as the conference, as our chancellors and presidents, our athletic directors and faculty athletic representatives, and as senior women administrators, we have a responsibility to make sure that we're always taking care of the health and wellness and the safety of our student athletes. So the decision was made this morning to cancel the remainder of the men's basketball tournament.
All right, we'll start in the front row on your right, Kevin.
Yes.
What changed, I guess, from last night to this morning?
Yeah, I don't think anything changed. I mean, quite naturally, this has been something that I have been evaluating over the last 6 weeks, as far as even going into our women's tournament and then the men's tournament. I went and attended the Big Ten Wrestling Championships at Rutgers on Saturday, and then coming back here. And one of the great things about that we did, sometime a week or so ago, we actually formed a Big Ten infectious disease committee. And I mean, we have 14 incredible academic institutions. And so one of the things I want to make sure that I do is rely on the information and guidance from individuals in our conference. And also is just to make sure, thinking what's best for our student athletes. And so I spent a lot of time thinking through this, meditating on it, and really this morning praying on what is the right thing to do for the health and safety of our student athletes. And it became crystal clear to me that I would recommend to our chancellors and presidents and our athletic directors that we would cancel the men's basketball tournament.
Follow up from Dana.
I mean, obviously the players got as far as onto the court at 11 o'clock. I mean, it seemed rather instantaneous if you're thinking about it, I guess, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Why allow them to go all the way through those emotions? Well,
you know, Dana, that's a wonderful question, but I had to make sure that I was comfortable, that I had spoken to the appropriate people. I think one of the things that is important to me, not only as a human being, but as a commissioner, is transparency and communication. And so it was really important to me that I had an opportunity to talk to all of our chancellors, our presidents, our athletic directors, and other key individuals on our campuses to discuss this issue. And these are big decisions. They have major ramifications as far as scheduling and all the other different things. And so those things take time to be able to do it with people's schedules, and you don't want to rush these decisions. It would have been, you know, great if it could have been 2 hours earlier this morning, but it wasn't. And I think the biggest thing is that we made the right decision. I feel very good with our decision. I'm very confident with our decision. And we have a fiduciary responsibility in the Big Ten to always show leadership, especially in tough times. And I think that's something that we did today to do the right thing.
Second row on your aisle.
Teddy Greenstein.
Hey, Teddy, good to see you.
Good to see you. With what transpired last night with Coach Hoiberg falling ill and the quarantining of the Nebraska players, did that get a lot of people's attention and raise the concern level?
I mean, the answer is yes, quite naturally, when it happens in your environment. But you know, that was one piece of the decision-making process. I feel confident that I would have come to the same decision this morning, you know, with or without that. That was an element of it, but it was so much bigger than that. I think the biggest thing for me was to make sure that we had time, because I've just found during life that if you take a step back, very rarely do you regret it. And we needed to make sure that we had the appropriate time to make the appropriate decisions, and this won't be the last decision. I mean, we'll go right from here to start evaluating, you know, how long is this for? What other events does it impact? But I think the biggest thing for us is to make sure that we had time. And this allows us to take a step back, take a deep breath, gather information, gather qualitative medical information, consult with our experts, and continually make good decisions. So time is our friend in these kind of situations.
All the way on the far left with Mike.
Yes, Kevin. The verbiage in the release is canceling. The NBA said suspend. So is there any chance that later on you guys might revisit concluding the tournament?
I would say no. I think it's important. You know, we wanted to make it clear that we're canceling it because, again, you know, the first and foremost, we need to make sure that we protect the health and safety of you all, of our student athletes, of our administrators, of our fans. And I wish I knew more information. And this is a fluid situation. I can't recall the last time we've had a pandemic, but we do here. And so it's really important that that we're thoughtful. And if it comes down that I overreacted or we overreacted, I'm comfortable with that. But I think as I sit here today, in these kind of situations, you can never react from a safety standpoint. And I think we needed to make sure that we went to the highest level to give us a chance to deal with this acute problem.
We'll stay all the way on the left with Brendan.
Kevin, with the weight this league carries, what do you think should happen with the NCAA tournament?
Well, I mean, I did communicate with Mark Emmert right before the release went out, just so he would know what was going on. But I'm a big believer is that, you know, once you make a decision and once you feel in your heart that it's the right decision, that regardless of what anyone else did, it was not going to sway me or sway us as far as the decision that we made. And the only thing that I would offer from an advice standpoint, whether it's the NCAA or any other person in my seat, would be just make sure you put the student athletes at the epicenter of your decision. And if you do that, I think you'll be led to the right decision. And as I thought through it, and like I said, spent time, and when I woke up this morning, even more so than I felt yesterday, I just felt in my spirit that this was the right thing to do to make sure that we're doing what we're saying we're doing, and that is that we want to make sure that our student athletes have an opportunity on our college campuses to get a world-class education, to participate in intercollegiate athletics, but also that we create an environment that they are healthy from a holistic standpoint, from a mental health, from a physical standpoint, and then we show them leadership. And so I think this is a chance for a lot of people to understand and learn what the Big Ten stands for, and that's to make sure we're going to make decisions, whether they may seem complicated, but I know for us, and I'm just honored to be able to serve our chancellors and presidents and our athletic directors and faculty, athletic reps and senior women administrators, but most of all, I'm proud to serve our 10,000 student athletes who call themselves Big Ten student athletes.
Back on your right, front row, Dana.
So as far as you know, just to be clear, no one here has tested positive, been quarantined, in contact, nothing like that?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
Second row, Pat.
Pat, good to see you.
Hi, Kevin. In your conversation with Mr. Emmert, did you get any sense about what they are going to do at the next level?
I did not. It was a very, very brief conversation. It was just more so out of respect. I just wanted him to hear it from me first before he read it. And so we didn't have that conversation. It probably lasted about a minute. I just wanted to let him know so he was aware, because I'm sure people would call him, but to let him know what we were doing.
Any other questions?
Again, I just
You got one more here, back row on the right.
Did the use of that word pandemic by the WHO sway you some further in your?
No, I mean, it's again, whether they had used the word pandemic or not, I still would have reached, this decision. I think the biggest thing is the uncertainty. And I'm a big believer in asking a lot of questions, gathering information, and making decisions based upon the best information that I have. And this was one of those situations that there were a lot of people who were telling me, I don't know. And I get concerned when I hear I don't know many times. And I just want to make sure, I don't want to have any regrets. And I just want to make sure as a conference we do the right things, because if something had gone awry here, I don't want to be in a position looking back saying only if we would have done, canceled this tournament. And I know we all love college athletics. We love basketball, women's and men's basketball. This is a great time of the year. It's part of our fabric of our country. But again, these are not easy decisions, but I feel very good with the decision that we have made at the Big Ten Conference to cancel our men's basketball tournament.
All right, all the way on the left, third row, Steve.
Kevin, could you talk about we're at a basketball tournament, but the Big Ten hockey tournament, has a decision been made regarding those games?
And that's something that, again, that's what my afternoon will be filled with, is making those other decisions. I just thought from you all standpoint, from our fans standpoint, from our student athletes and coaches standpoint, that people needed to that we needed to make this decision for this tournament today because that's right in front of us. Quite naturally, we have hockey tournament coming up. We have gymnastics, we have wrestling. We have a lot of different things that are coming down the path that we need to decide on. But I just wanted to be able to take a breather today and start working through those different issues and again have a lot of conversations and I know this won't be the last time that I'll see your smiling faces that we can talk about these issues.
All right, we'll take a few more. Teddy on the aisle.
Kevin, you mentioned the good news that no one has tested positive. Do you know if the Nebraska players and coaches and staff were actually tested?
I don't know that. I will find that out today. I mean, last night, quite naturally, the games went late. Last night was a late night. This morning was an early morning, and then I've been working on this throughout the morning. But that's something I'll talk with this afternoon. But as I sit here today, I don't believe anyone has tested positive for the virus. Thank God.
Third row on the right.
Nick Mantis, WLNS Lansing. When you were making the announcement, the teams were preparing for their game, specifically the two teams, including Michigan. When they were getting ready, how did they find out that you were going to make this decision and stop warming up?
Yeah, so once we made the decisions and talked with our chancellors and presidents, then I made it very clear that we did, after that call, we had a call with our athletic directors and senior women administrators and faculty athletic reps. And I believe the two athletic directors, Ward Manuel from Michigan and Pat Hobbs at Rutgers, talked to their appropriate coaches and who also then disseminated that information to the team. And I thought it was important that the individual institutions have a chance to communicate that to the teams because in that way, if the student athletes or coaches had questions, they can answer them. And so that's how the information was distributed to the student athletes.
All right, one more on the left-hand side, third row.
Yeah, Seth Wells with WILX in Lansing. I believe the ACC just crowned Florida State the #1 seed, the tournament champion. I was wondering, didn't seem like it out there, but I was wondering if you guys had any plans to crown a champion when there wasn't a tournament played.
As I sit here today, it's difficult to crown a champion if you don't compete. I mean, we do have 3 champions from the regular season. And that's the other thing that, when you think about it, we were blessed with an incredible, Big Ten, basketball season and the number of teams that played well. And so that's we have those memories to really think about as we sit here today. But I don't think I would recommend to our staff or crown a champion from the tournament because we didn't get a chance to play the tournament.
Okay. Commissioner, thank you very much.
Again, I just want to thank you all for everything you do. I know your jobs are not easy, and you take time away from your families to sacrifice, and it's these kind of memories that will carry us for a long time. But again, I thank you for your professionalism and supporting our conference, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Also, additionally for the media, this media workroom will close in 60 minutes in 1 hour at 1:45.
Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren there. It has been an eventful hour, to say the least, for him, and as he described, really an eventful last few weeks as this situation has developed. But again, it's been about an hour since the Big Ten announced that the Big Ten